What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Grab My Banner podcast, episode 21. And man, do we have a big one for you here today. We got a lot of news surrounding Season 8, including Fuse, the new legend, some new stuff with Kings Canyon, and a new weapon. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the rumored team deathmatch modes. But before we get to that, we had a duos tournament this week, and Bryan has the results for us. Bryan, can you read those off?
Yeah, where should I start at?
Well, you could start at the bottom. I would like you to start at the bottom.
Sure thing.
Why are you smiling?
So in 5th place, I have First Fight.
No.
With 105 points.
No.
4th
That's
place.
not the bottom. That's not the bottom. There's somebody below 5th place.
It's hard to believe, but you got to look lower.
Yeah. No, right here.
Oh,
Yeah. Why is it written so small?
Yeah, I must have missed
So I
it.
was hoping you wouldn't see it.
Oh,
Is
well,
that
I
how
see
you
it.
feel? Do you feel small?
6th place, Simic, Kyle Bryan for 95 points. 5th place.
Whoa, you went a little fast there.
Oh,
What'd you say?
Oh,
Say that one more time.
Fuck you guys. In 6th place, you had the team Simic with Kyle and Bryan on it. That's me and fucking Kyle. We had 95 points.
90. You didn't even break triple dig? They didn't even break
Listen,
triple dig.
dude,
It was a
it's
long
pitiful.
day. As each game went on, we got better. It just didn't happen till the end. We were
You guys
off.
must
It
have
just
started off
wasn't-
like shit then.
We did.
Yeah, we did. And I will accept it and I'll own it. And last place. 95
You think it's
points.
time to start talking about retirement?
No.
No, not even close. We're about to take redemption next
I'm going to
week.
beat your ass next week.
Yeah,
so
we're
it's okay.
we're coming and we're headhunting next
Interesting.
week.
All right.
5th place, First Fight with 105 points. 4th place, the Executives. That's Troy and Wyatt with 129 points. That's
Ooh,
4th
baby.
place.
Wow.
That's big.
3rd place, not as big as these other ones.
Well, hold on. First place for us was just beating you guys. I can be honest with you.
That's right. I
And
don't
we
know if I
won.
could ever feel that way again after they got 95 points. Yeah, but I mean,
No, go ahead, Bryan.
Okay.
You're okay.
3rd place was the Spicy Boys. That is Gio and Atom Bomb. They scored 144 points in their first submission as a tournament entry.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yo, there's a new team to be reckoned with right there.
Fuck yeah, there is.
2nd place, this one might come as somewhat of a shock to some of the people out there, is Team Goopa. The reigning champs of the past 2 duos
Back-to-back
tournaments.
champions.
Got 150 points. Their highest score yet, and still not a first place. And I almost want to call them first place, you guys.
I do too.
I almost want to call
I
them
think
first place.
they are first
because
place.
the first place that we have, although they scored 174 points, I can't help but think, like, they're just paper champs. They're not,
yeah.
Like, they're not real champs in my mind. Well, you can't be a real champ when you're on a Smurf.
It was Schmozzy and the other guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's that other dude?
I don't
some
even
random
know.
dude.
Some
Queen? I don't know.
Queen?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Schmozzy and Queen, they go by the dudes who are down bad. They missed the tournament entry last week because they just lagged. This week, they had to send it in privately because I think he was just trying not to show the Smurf.
Yeah,
but he
that
got
might be it.
174 points. So, I mean, I guess he's the champ.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we'll give him a certificate, not
Here's
the
what we'll
trophy.
do. Let's do this. I will say it. Let me say it real quick. Congratulations to Schmozzy and Queen as they are the duos tournament champions for number 3. All opinions after that are warranted because opinions are allowed here on this podcast. We're allowed to have opinions. This is a marketplace of ideas, and we like to add to it, and we like to say what we feel. And what do you guys feel?
Okay, devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
We never stated you couldn't do Smurf. We said no
Never in the
cheating,
rules.
obviously no glitching, no anything like that, no hackers, anything, none of that shit. That was what's expressed. That was what was defined as cheating. We never said no Smurf. So I guess it's not cheating, but I still want to put an asterisk up there. It's like, yeah, I'm a much better player that played against new guys, literally brand new to the game.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I could probably do that with my arm tied behind my back.
now, we also have to say that when we first started doing this duos tournament, we had to switch over to PC to start streaming, and so we were kind of on Smurfs, although we had played on PC before.
I made it a point to get to a level first where SPMM started kicking in. I wasn't, level 6. I was,
Yeah.
high enough to where I made sure that we started getting consistent games for the SPMM.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do you think people listening at home, Bryan, might be worried that a lot of what you're saying is fueled out of embarrassment and jealousy since they almost doubled the amount of points that you and Kyle got? I mean, they literally played the same amount of time and almost got twice as many points. Do you think that, maybe someone at home might be saying, I don't know if I'm going to listen to this guy. He's probably just jealous. What would you say to that person at home?
I would say I'm not jealous. I will own all 95 points of that. But I will own it. And we sucked, and I know we sucked. I know we play a lot better. That's on us. No harm foul there. Just saying, a Smurf is a Smurf.
Speaking of the haters, we have the winner and the number one Twitch moderator himself, Schmozzy, on the line. Let's let him give a little bit of his side of the story, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Look, when you're going to stress me out by calling me out and try and take away what I am as a brand, I need comfort.
Okay. Speaking of that, I just wanted to say congratulations because you and your teammate are the winners of the third ever Grab My Banner Duos tournament. How do you feel?
I felt great. I feel accomplished. I feel like a winner.
I just wanted to know, and this has nothing to do with how you won. What level is your Bryan But Good account?
It's about 13.
So that was the account you used in the tournament, correct?
That is my account. Yeah, that is the account I used in the tournament solely off of making fun of Bryan.
Yeah, which is understandable. But he makes fun of himself on a national stage pretty much all the time anyway. But there's been some people calling into question the legitimacy of your winning. What do you have to say to that?
I did absolutely nothing wrong when it comes to Apex. So it's pretty much like no matter what I do, we're going to be playing against King's skill level because of he's the highest in the lobby no matter what. No matter even if I try my hardest on my main account, I just solo queue so much that my KD kind of takes a hit. But with King, he plays with me and other people. So he's going to have that skill-based matchmaking even with a new account like I used.
So to the haters out there, I'm sure there's a lot out there. I'm sure there's some people on your side as well. But to the haters, what's your message to those haters?
We had a game plan to get 10 kills and a dub to secure 40 points per game, and we did that plus. Sorry you guys can't do that. Sorry to Kyle and Bryan for not being able to get triple digits once again. I don't know whose fault it is. Actually, I do. It's Kyle for being bad, Bryan for also being trash. So when you have a bad player and a trash player coming together, you don't get good. You just get worse results. And that's what happened.
So, the haters, get them out of your way. What is your and King's plan for the future now that you're going to win this one? Are you going to try and chase a championship that doesn't have an asterisk involved with it? Or are you just going to hold on to this one?
I don't see an asterisk. I see jealousy. I see people who want to use an excuse to delegitimize our win. But you know what? We'll come back with a 200+ one. So it's no big deal.
Okay, so obviously he was very angry. He had a lot to say to the haters. His new account name was Bryan But Good, which
Listen,
that hurts.
Yeah. And it makes sense because it's in bronze.
I'm not in bronze. I made it to plat. Last season.
No.
In the same season. I just stopped playing that account.
It's time we start talking about retirement, Bryan.
It's not happening.
No.
Listen,
Your golden years literally are behind you.
I have one thing to ask on that. When you strafe, is your shooting still off?
Dude, I don't
Do you
need
still
to strafe
take less
to get higher
bullets?
max damage than
Do
you.
you still take less bullets than you would normally, but do you still also do less damage than you
Dude,
would
I'm
normally?
doing more damage than I was before.
But
There's
are
no
you
doubt
still doing
about it.
less damage than you would normally when you have to strafe to avoid bullets?
I don't know. I can't quantify that exactly. It doesn't matter,
That's
bro.
a yes.
So
That's a yes.
Bro,
So
no.
his strafing still makes his gameplay worse.
Listen,
I feel pretty
if you're
confident
gonna
in
start
that.
calling out my playstyle, then you better accept the bet. If you
Well,
seriously
well,
are,
we'll see
you've
when
been
we get-
playing
wait till we
since
get-
season 1.
Wait till we get to the
okay?
gambling.
Oh,
I want to
no,
see
no,
the
no.
I want to see the
No,
fine print of
The
the bet.
people,
because-
no. This bet is right now in this section. All right, you fucking accept it. We'll get the bones. It's gonna be at least 100. I'm just saying. But we'll get the bones nailed in the gambling section. But I want you to accept, for all the people that don't normally make it to the gambling section, you let them know that there's a head-to-head going on this week. We're going to play 12 games that has nothing to do with our gambling, okay? Because this is a boxing week. But we're going to bet against each other on our maxes. And I know that I'm going to fucking stomp you.
Why don't we do this, okay? It's out there. They know it's coming. They can see the rest of what happens at the end of the show when we do our gambling segment, and you can see how much Bryan decides to bet, if at all. If he doesn't, I mean, he already just got dead last in the Duos tournament. That would be a really bad look for him. It would be borderline embarrassing.
We're going to continue this in the gambling segment.
Okay.
Too many people are going to jump in this and want to take part of the winnings that are on my side.
Oh, my
So
God.
we're going to get to this later.
I know my teammate won't.
That was a silent
Nice
look right there. He
pause.
still doesn't want to say anything.
You guys are putting me in a tough spot here. I'm just trying to live. I got this Bud Light. I'm just trying to hang out, and let's get to the Raise Energy question. That sounds like a good idea. But before we get to the Raise Energy question,
Wait, teammate.
What's up?
Are you saying that you're not gonna?
I
You're
didn't-
not gonna take my side.
Well,
on
I
that
haven't said
head-to-head?
anything yet. We got to discuss. There's
we
there's
gotta
plenty
get
of
there. We'll get there
sides.
later.
We got to talk about it. We got to get it all out there. We got to I got to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to. There's a lot of see like.
We'll
Please.
get to it later.
We'll get to it.
All
We'll
right,
get to
dude.
it. We'll get to it.
All right.
Anyway, we got a lot to talk about here on the rest of this episode. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, where all of the shenanigans was going down today. We had a bunch of shenanigans there. Honestly, though, you really need to get in that Discord if you want to hang out with us at all, because we're always in there. Every single day in the Discord is an adventure. The Instagram, the TikTok, all of that stuff. And don't forget about the Twitch as well. And our YouTube is slowly starting to get started up. Go follow us there on Grab My Banner Podcast on YouTube. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so we appreciate all of you guys for that. Let's get into the Raise Energy question of the week. Use code BANNER at repsports.com for 15% off all purchases of Raise Energy. What would be each legend's favorite video game?
So I got two for Loba. Number one, I have that she plays Skyrim, but all she does is level up her sneak, so she can steal things from people the entire time.
Interesting.
So sneak level 100, everything else is dog shit, and she just steals everything. Oh, and then the other one I have is Grand Theft Auto, because
GTA.
You're just focusing on her stealing shit.
yes, pretty much.
That was your angle, was the
That
stealing
was
shit.
my angle.
See,
stealing shit.
I was just looking at the personality that we have cultivated about her over the episodes, and I kind of went with the Sims thing. She just seems like a basic girl game,
could
and
see
like
a Sims
Sims.
player.
I
See,
feel like she
I
would
think I
play
might have put
Sims.
that
I picked
down.
Wraith as a Sims player.
Wraith as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know what
I
to
think-
say for Wraith.
That's funny. I put down Sims for Loba.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just
saw
pictured Loba as like one of those girls who like that's
Yeah.
one game that girls love to fucking just go ham in. They love
Create.
Sims.
They
They,
really
wanna
love
create-
that shit.
That's right.
I mean, I guess maybe she can create a life with parents.
So, I wanted to laugh. I wanted to laugh, but I didn't. I held back. Wraith is interesting as well because I said for Wraith, she feels like an RPG player, role playing game player, and Sims is essentially an RPG, so that makes sense.
Dude, it's so obvious. Guitar Hero.
I had that for Lifeline.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I-
Lifeline,
Oh, dude, no,
Lifeline
I was
is
thinking
Rock Band.
Lifeline when you said
Lifeline's
Wraith.
Rock
That's
Band.
my-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wraith
You're right,
is
you're right.
either Sims or any game where you can choose a good or a bad side.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the think back to if you guys ever played the old game Fable,
Yes.
you could choose your actions determined. Did you become like this person with a halo, a literal halo over your head, or did you run around with fucking devil horns on your head?
Yeah.
You killed so many people. Like
By the way,
Wraith would love to do that.
Fable, one of my top-notch games of all time.
One of the
Pretty
best games.
awesome.
One of the best
I-
games I've
that-
ever played. Actually, you know what? Wraith really does seem kind of like that Fable character to me too. She because not just that too. Maybe even something like Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, where you could choose like the
Like good or
direction
the
of
bad
where you
side,
go.
yeah.
In that sense, I can see you're going down the route of Skyrim as well, because you can kind of build that persona in Skyrim, but it's more. It's not as
See,
You mean the
focused on
Dark
that?
Brotherhood?
Yeah, or the
Yeah.
Thieves Guild, things like that.
Yeah.
I just can't see her playing a game too much where she because Skyrim there isn't any defined like you're good or you're bad. You just do whatever you want. There's certain games where it has like a meter or something
Yeah.
like that where it shows you. I picture her being a lot more in a game like that than or a game where she gets to pick her own decisions where each thing that she does has a different outcome.
What was that one old game, Mass Effect? Wasn't that like
Oh,
that? I
yeah,
believe?
Mass Effect was like that, too.
Everything you chose in that game affected the storyline different and a different
There was
outcome.
like 3 different things
Yeah,
that could change.
you-
every single
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely goes up Wraith's alley for me. I had one for Caustic that I really liked. I pictured Caustic playing Mortal Kombat, but not like the game
You
itself.
bastard.
He basically just watched the finishers and like learned the new techniques of torture that he could try and like figure out. He's
I
giddy
said
like
the
a child.
The exact same
Bro.
thing. I said Mortal Kombat or Surgery Simulator.
I always picture Caustic as like a 40-year-old man that's been alive for like ever, and like the only games he knows is like Galaga. So like,
Yeah, if Caustic did have a hobby other than literally murdering people, it would be like that. You ever go into GameStop and you see that really old dude in GameStop? He's wearing socks with sandals. He's got glasses, receding hairline. He's just an old nerd. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Like Caustic definitely fits that description where he was like a little kid, 12 years old at like the Nickel arcade, just going hard on, like you said, Galaga.
Exactly.
He does fit that description. Like if anybody in this roster fills it, it's Caustic. Like we said before, Lifeline with Rock Band. That just hit me. That was one of the first ones I thought of, just because the drumsticks. For Revenant, I put Dark Souls because he loves consistently dying over and over and over
I also
again.
put Doom.
Doom as well.
That'd be a
Yeah.
good one. I put Diablo 3.
That's lit.
If
I had
you ever played
Bloodborne.
Diablo, because
Bloodborne's a good one.
yeah, Bloodborne's also a really good one. That's solid.
Okay, for Bloodhound, I put Big Game Hunter.
I literally put the same thing. I put
100%.
I put Cabela's hunting simulator.
Run
Like
around
I
with
did
the
the same
Magnum.
thing.
That's a good one. I had Far Cry 3.
Oh, yeah.
Far Cry 3 or any of the Far Cries really would be great. I could see him loving those. Dude, am I the only one who has Gibraltar as like, I just picture this dude sitting on a couch and just being an absolute badass at Madden. He just whoops your ass in Madden. The score is 72-3 in the first quarter, and you only got the 3 because he let you, just so you thought that you would think you had a hope.
I could see him playing FIFA too.
I see him playing
Yeah.
FIFA.
I also put for Bloodhound, going back to them real quick, Skyrim, but just stays in the woods to kill wolves. Because if you
That'd
stay
be
in
good.
Skyrim for
Yeah.
more than 30 seconds, something's running at
Collecting
Literally.
leather.
you. Yeah, like
collecting pelts.
exactly.
Yeah.
I will collect pelts and make leather stuff for like ages.
Oh,
Dude,
dude.
it's like my favorite
I
thing.
love upping my smithing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like
like
my
my
favorite- I
favorite
love that.
thing.
Real.
Yeah.
I saw Bloodhound fitting in really well in Fallout. In the Fallout world,
Yeah,
like
that'd be good.
you know, because he's just like got the whole get up and shit already, and like he's got the mask, and you know, I could see him being like the king of the ghouls.
It's like a perfect balance between Fallout's like a perfect balance between like technology and complete and utter disaster.
It's
like,
both.
Yeah,
it's
both.
like exactly. It's like everything's regressed back into an archaic age, but like you still have ray guns and shit. So it's it's a cool combo.
Yeah, I could see that.
Question: are we all on the same page for Octane again? Like, is that just kind of a known one?
What are you shooting for?
I was going to say Need for Speed.
I was going to say we were going Burnout.
Burnout, Paradise City.
I thought of one other game too, just now. Did any of you guys ever play Downhill Domination?
No.
Okay, that was back in the day when I had a PS2. Like gaming magazines would come out with CDs, like they would come out with actual discs that came in the gaming magazines, and you'd put it in your PlayStation, and it would have demos of like 5 or 6 different games on it. One of the games on one of those demos was called Downhill Domination, and it was a downhill mountain biking game where you could go downhill and you could punch people off their bikes when you were going down the mountain, and like you would hit power-ups where you would get glass bottles and throw it at your opponents as you were going downhill.
lit.
Dude, it was so raw. If anybody on the you know that's listening to this has ever played Downhill Domination, please get in our Discord, hit us up on Twitter, let me know if I got that right or not.
Another good one for Octane would be ATV versus
Oh,
ATV
yeah.
Off-Road Fury.
Off-Road-
Yeah,
that game
that
was
game
really
was
good. I
lit.
remember
Because
that shit.
he already has the skin where he has the dirt bike helmet on, but like that game, I could put hours on that game.
Yeah,
I would
I
sit
was-
there forever. Some other people out there for Pathfinder. Is there anything other than just regular arcade games, Tetris style games?
Tetris. I had Tetris for Watson because it's a boring ass
Yeah,
game.
Dude, fuck you
Boring
guys.
ass game.
Watson's not boring.
Boring.
Watson's a freak.
I thought Pathfinder and the Spider-Man games, where there's nothing to do in the game but swing around because he can't do it enough in real life because his grapple's on such a fucking long cooldown.
Yeah, makes sense. I pictured, that it's not all PS4. The VR game Beat Saber.
Yes.
I just
That's
picture him
dope.
being fucking cracked at that. Like he's insane.
Crypto is really good at StarCraft.
Any strategic type, like team-based game, I could picture him doing.
I thought
Yes.
I thought
Dota.
Bangalore.
Dota too.
Dota would be
Dota
good.
too.
Yeah.
I thought Bangalore would be good at all of those games. Any strategic game that involves teamwork or anything like that, I think Bangalore is top tier.
And
now.
she's
And
probably
she's
the
the
most toxic person in chat. She's
Yes,
roasting
100%.
you.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah,
roasting you,
still
and she's
roasting.
also the shot caller on the team.
Dude, she's probably playing like Bridge to Tarkov or like one of those war
Escape
simulators.
from Tarkov.
Escape from Tarkov. Yep.
Dope.
Okay.
You guys good to go?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, that'll just about wrap it up for the Raise Energy question of the week. Don't forget to head on down and use code BANNER at repsports, reppsports.com, where you can get 15% off all Raise Energy products. We've all got our favorite flavors. There's a lot of flavors that you can try out in the variety packs. And if you show us that you used our code BANNER at repsports.com, we'll send you a personalized card because we just like to do shit like that, because we are like that. Let's move on to the Apex News Minute, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome to the Apex News Minute. I'm Wyatt B. Our top story of the day, Apex Legends is switching it up. Apex Japan released an email to fans stating that Apex will be available on the Nintendo Switch on February 2nd. The release seems to be accidental, as it has since been taken down, but come February, I plan on running myself some Switch lobbies. Our second story, Blisk seems like a distant star. After Fuse's video was released on Monday, Apex developer Tom Casiello tweeted a seemingly damning tweet for Blisk hopefuls. He stated, "Between the first Ginger legend and an Aussie legend next season, it's been tough not responding to your tweets wondering when either would happen. And don't even get me started on the legend after that, or the legend after that, in all caps, for that matter," seemingly hinting at a massive amount of tweets involving Blisk. This is all speculation and subject to change, but it doesn't look good. We move on to our final story, where Fuse won't be using the popular C word as many fans had hoped. Tom Casiello added a tweet saying he heard his fans' requests for the use of the word, and most countries were okay with it, but the United States wouldn't allow it. Boo. That'll do it for the Apex News Minute. I'm Wyatt B. All right, let's get into the Reddit discussion of the week. It's not really from Reddit, it's from Twitter, from our friend Shrugtul. He tweeted out earlier in the week, there have been arena triggers found in the latest Kings Canyon map file. 3v3 TDM style game modes, team spawns on A and B inside of a Gibby bubble with 4 different loadouts available. 1 airdrop in the center, 1 medical supply bin spawn at the side, and 3 ring stages. There's many different arenas, and all of these different arenas are in Kings Canyon POIs. So, the discussion this week is not when this is going to come, how this is going to be. It's more about how we would want to see this come into the game. How would you structure this team deathmatch style game mode, and how would you think it would best fit the rest of the community and fit into Apex well? What do you guys think?
Does it have to stay a 3v3?
I don't think so. Whatever you think would be the best. How would you want to see this come in?
Man, I would really love if there was some kind of a mode where it was just gun skill. It was 1v1, just gun skill, and you could play whatever characters you wanted within a certain class. Heavyweights are heavyweights, and then the small characters have to play the small characters. But I'd love where it was just like you could take a break from the abilities and just see how good you were 1v1 with a gun. Mm-hmm. Like that would be so sick. Just to have the ability to do that every now and again and see how you stack up just with, Apex's aiming system. I would love to have a mode like that.
Are you talking about movement as well, like being able to move and climb and do different stuff like that?
Yeah, you can still do everything but the abilities, I was thinking, and make it so that everybody gets to pick whatever gun they want with completely have it kitted out. Have your favorite weapons, stuff like that.
That'd be sick.
So, what you're talking about is essentially Call of Duty, but with Apex mechanics.
That's what I'm saying.
And
So he's talking gunfight.
But
I was going to say
not-
gunfight.
Just have
Yeah.
that be
But,
that be an option.
yeah, no, but I don't think that'd be the best team deathmatch mode. I think
No.
that would be a best inside the training room. I think that's an amazing training room. Like if you have an arena for a gunfight-esque in the training room where you can go practice your actual gun skill, I think that would actually help a lot. Much better than just shooting a couple dummies. Even if you turn them on to make them run around like crazy, it's still like you going against each other would be a much better system in a 1v1 where, like, you say, okay, enable gunfight mode. We'll use quotations around that so it's not copyright or something, but like enable gunfight mode in the training room. I think that's a much better place to have that than to have it be team deathmatch. I think team deathmatch, you being the fact that it's a possibly permanent mode in the game, that you really need to focus on what Apex is, and Apex is movement. It is those abilities, and I think you need to double down on that. Not double down on it, but I think you need to keep that just as relevant and as strong, because that's going to be possibly a huge platform moving forward.
I think what he's on to is something that could be legitimate, though. I think that would be a good mode to have, because a lot of people talk about, like, I want to do. How many times have we heard about solos, right? People love to go one-on-one with people because that's one of the most exhilarating things. Like, if you're in a fight in Apex and there's just one guy from your team and one guy from the other team, it's fun. And sometimes abilities do get in the way. Say, for instance, I'm a lifeline playing against a Caustic. It's like, well, in a fair fight, I'd probably roast that kid. But because it's Caustic, whatever. I'm not going to complain about that because that's part of the game. That's what a BR is. But I would love to see something like that, where we had a gunfight like we saw in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, where it was 2v2s or 1v1s. You're on the opposite side of the map. They give you a random gun and loadout. You both have the same thing, and it's like, who's better? That would be fun.
Yeah, I think it would be fun, but I think it's just better suited for the firing range. Maybe you allow 2 squads in the firing range. 6 people total into the firing range, and allow that to happen. Then you get to work on teamwork and your gun skills, purely your gun skills.
I think what you're wanting is more of a custom games setup.
I think that's a better fit than what the arena mode that's coming is going to be.
Yeah. So what I had written down was, I do love the idea of team deathmatch, but I would like to see 3 team deathmatch because of Uncharted 3, like you were saying. If you never played that, you missed out. That was one of the funnest online competitive games I've ever played. It was very similar to Apex. A lot of movement, less reliant on the gun skill, and more about how you moved away. And there was still gun skill involved. There was some aim and stuff like that, and but it was definitely similar to that. So I put down 3 team deathmatch. Classes fully customizable up to blue attachments. I don't think we need purple, especially in team deathmatch, and if there's 3 teams. And then the map rotations just being different places or different POIs that either were used to be in the game or still are now. Like, I could see Skulltown, Thunderdome being their own separate thing. I could see Bridges being its own separate thing. I could see the second building in World's Edge, the one that got destroyed.
Oh, yes.
That one, that would be a crazy map. Like, just having that right there. The 2 buildings together might even be a crazy map. It might be a bigger map than normal, but like all those different POIs, I think that would be really fun if you had a map rotation and you're doing stuff like that. And the abilities, like Bryan said, would still be used in the game, but in a team deathmatch setting or like a respawn game mode setting, not respawn the developer, like respawning, like you die and then you respawn, similar to Call of Duty. I think that'd be really fun, and I think that could get a lot of people over to Apex and enjoying the game.
Yeah, especially if you're able to respawn and immediately load back in that sense. I think that's a very fast-paced. One of the big issues people have with Battle Royale game styles as far as spectating goes is they're slow. You spend half the game looting, the other half fighting. We want to see all fighting. That's what this offers. They offer this game with the movement and the high quality content that it can produce at moments, all packed into small sessions, and I think that adds to a lot.
What's interesting about this mode and the way Shrug told, he drew a little map. If you look at the tweet, he has a map and he drew it himself. What's interesting about it, and what we think about, like, remember Halo, there's power weapon positions, right? There's rocket launchers and snipers. There is this airdrop in the middle of the map. Now, I don't think it should always be dead center in the middle, but how fun is it? Because Apex has always been about, you got to combine your team the best way possible to set up a team, get to the power position, get the power weapon. It's like a mixture between Call of Duty and Halo, but it's Apex doing it in their own way, and I think that makes for interesting gameplay, and I think a lot of people would enjoy that. At least the people who aren't really big into BRs, they would really like that.
So I had a way that I would think that the team deathmatch thing would work, and I had it set up so it's kind of like rounds, kind of like CSGO or something. And so each circle that closes in would be a round, but it wouldn't instantly go to where that circle closes in at. It would start all the way out, but each round the circle would close in faster and faster and to that certain point. And each round you would go up in tiers of loot. So like round 1 you would have white armor and white tiers of basically whatever. So for each round you would get different tiers of loot, and it would go up higher each time. And each time you would have an option of 3 different loadouts that you could pick. So like the loadouts from the Christmas limited time mode, like there would be like just 3 of those you could pick from, but they would either be like all white attachments for the first round, then all blue attachments for the second round, then all purple attachments for the third round.
It's kind of like a search and destroy almost.
Yeah, but each round you'd go up tiers, and then you would be the first one to win 3.
That'd be fun.
That'd be sick.
All of these would be fun, dude.
I think all of them are. And the thing is, like, in a team deathmatch mode, all of them are viable, depending on which map you're on. Like which, and that's what it's going to end up essentially being, is which map are you on? Are you on, hopefully, a Skull Town, or a Thunderdome, or Bridges, or are you on, like, a bunker? Like, dude, if one of these things inside fucking bunker would be absurd.
I would just love, like, the reason why this is so appealing to me is it's like, dude, you want to get better at a game, right? But it's so hard with this one because it's like, other than playing the typical BR mode, it's like, if I don't win my first fight, I really don't learn anything. Like, I just die. If you're playing in a team deathmatch mode, say, for instance, let's say Skull Town, using the different cover, climbing, running, sliding, jumping, getting your aim down, like doing all these different types of things, you do this over and over and over again, it starts to translate into the BR mode. Like, all of these make a lot of sense, and they'd be super fun. I'd even be down for just a straight up, like, I was actually, for the first time in forever, I played Call of Duty Cold War, and I only played free-for-all. Like, I just love going one-on-one with somebody, and having that in Apex would be so fun for me. If there was, like, 8 people in Skull Town, and we were all just running and playing free-for-all with, like, the same class or something like that, that'd be so fun, dude.
See, I love one-on-one. What I hate in one-on-one is when the third guy comes in. That's what I don't like.
I mean, you expect it, though.
I mean, yeah, but that's just the annoying part for me. I'd rather have the multi-team deathmatch.
Let me put it this way. It's more annoying when you're in the actual BR mode. When you're playing something like free-for-all, a throwaway mode, it's not going to make you as pissed off.
This could become the ranked platform for Apex. I could see a ranked mode coming in, like a 3-team deathmatch ranked mode would be absolutely absurd.
I think they would save that for Titanfall 3.
This could be the beta test for that, but even then, like, getting this in there and getting this hyped and then transferring that to Titanfall, that hype would carry over. A lot of that would for at least the initial start.
Yeah.
So I think that this is something that they're really pushing.
All right, well, that'll just about wrap it up for the Reddit discussion this week. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that there's a special way that they should do it? Let us know. Tweet us. Send us a DM. Let us know what you guys think, because we love to go through all that stuff. We love to hear from the fans. All right, let's get ready for the main discussion. We're going to hit a quick ad, and we'll see you on the other side to talk about Season 8. Okay, boys, Season 8, it's starting to take shape here. We got a nice little video, Stories of the Outlands from Apex, on the new legend of Fuse. Very weird video. It was interesting. He loves that little grenade. Arm got blown off, and he, like, just literally didn't give a fuck.
Nope.
Arm got blown up. He was like, throw it away. What is his word?
He
Throw
said,
it away?
Throw it away.
Throw it out for me.
It's a lost cause.
It's a lost cause.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know he was 100% talking to that whoever that chick is.
Yeah.
He calls her baby. You know that he is 100% talking to her going, you're a fucking lost cause. You just blew my arm off.
That's insane.
Like, fuck you. Like, we were lifelong friends. You got pissed that I had something good happen to me. So you try to blow me the fuck up.
You're not wrong at all. I would
would
just
be hella
figure
pissed.
he would be more upset or distraught that his arm
I would
just
be
got
pissed
blown
about
off.
my arm too. But
How level-headed he was for being such an explosive character.
That was so badass. It deserves me at playing him the first time I see him in game at least one time. He deserves that, because normally I don't. Normally I don't play the first character. I'm like, fuck you. I don't care about playing you. I'm gonna play him once just because he didn't care that his arm got blown off.
yeah, that's
I'll probably play
badass.
him
Badass.
once. Listen, I'll probably play him once, and every time I play him, I'll probably blow myself up.
I'll probably play him because I'm the explosive person out of this group.
Yeah, at this
Yeah,
table
that's
you
true.
use explosives the most. That is for sure. So
I tried.
Getting to that, Fuse is an explosive, what seems to be an explosive legend. Obviously, the whole video was pretty much an explosion. You had the grenade, you had the explosion at the end. They're from the planet of Salvo, which if you haven't listened to last week's episode and our interview with someone who leaks, you can figure out what Salvo is. Essentially, it's a planet that just loves rocket launchers, grenades, anything that explodes. So he will be joining the Apex Games. He's the first person from the planet Salvo to be joining the Apex Games. He loves to blow stuff up. Boys, should we try to guess what his abilities are going to be? Passive, tactical, ultimate?
If they don't make the passive something that increases grenade damage, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
That would actually be insane.
It needs to be a 10 to 15% buff on grenade damage, and where the length that you can throw it or the distance that you can throw it and the accuracy of the throw is all improved.
That would
So
be
you're
insane.
saying a lower arc with faster rate of fire or faster rate of travel with an increased blast radius is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe it detonates faster?
Increased damage specifically.
Okay. See, I was thinking a different route.
Yeah.
Instead of that, saying decreased self-damage or decreased damage to him from grenades.
Maybe that could be it too, but
'Cause-
he's got the robotic arm now, so now I'm thinking he's got to be able to chuck that
You
motherfucker.
just pitch
I
that
would
pitch.
listen. I would hope so, but and that might be it. But I'd much rather, and this might just be a me thing because I kill myself with any explosive. I'd much rather be able to lob a freaking regular frag grenade into a building and then charge in after it and get that extra big burst of damage.
Oh, I see what you're
and
saying.
hit because it's not going to hurt me nearly as much as it is going to hurt everyone else. It's a huge blast radius. It's one grenade.
Yeah, he's obviously not impervious to grenades, hence the arm.
No, but maybe his robotic arm now covers that damage. I don't know. Listen, I don't care. I just want to know. The dude literally got his arm blown off by a grenade and didn't give two shits. I assume there's less damage coming to him from said grenade.
I like your idea, but I just don't think it would be enough to be a passive because grenade, unless it was like you don't take any damage from thermites, which first of all would be way too overpowered. Like he has to. So if you could do that with thermites, that would be fucked. That would be
You
fucked.
just load up on thermite.
Listen, yeah, thermites would be fucked. Regular grenades would be fucked. Fucking arc stars would be fucked. But you still take damage, a relevant amount of damage. But it's not going to full crack your shield like it will other people. Maybe 50% damage from explosives, and they can obviously tweak it as needed.
Yeah.
You think that's better than just making the grenades hurt
Yes,
more?
yes, because you forget that anything that we're assuming that he's going to go off of explosives. We have a character in this game that has a black hole. Explosives are going to be overpowered as fuck.
Yes,
in
especially
this meta.
most of
This
the
upcoming meta, I expect explosives to be some of the most daunting things to go against, and that Horizon and Fuse are going to be absolutely unstoppable together.
Yeah, well, the devs have talked about, though, they're probably going to nerf Horizon again. Like, it's been reported a few times by Titanfall blog on Twitter. So we'll see how powerful that is. I also thought a good passive would just be more grenade slots. Remember how back in the day you used to be able to carry 2 grenades of each kind at a time? That would make sense. Maybe even buff it up to 3 because he is an explosive expert.
Here's a hot take that it'd probably be really bad for the game. But what if his passive was he made all grenades blow up on contact?
That would be so sick.
That would be.
He would be a must pick.
He'd be
He
a
would
must
be
pick.
a must pick.
He'd be a must pick. I think we'd see a change in the meta purely off of Horizon and him. I don't care how weak her ultimate gets or her movement gets. It's like, think back to Overwatch days with Zarya. If you had Zarya and someone that could drop a fucking, or was it Tracer with their bomb? And that in itself was...
It was a comp,
It was stupidly good, incredibly meta, and made Zarya a must pick. And I think that the same would be for Fuse, because if you could do any of these things, take less maybe not the take less damage one in that comp, but if you could do more or blow up on contact, stack more grenades, or higher explosive damage, any of those mixed with that, like explosives are a very dangerous. You can easily alter and just decimate a meta and gameplay by making them too strong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, what if they made it so that, like, when you pulled up the grenade throw mechanic where you saw the line of where it was going to go, it had a meter like in like Madden when you were going to kick a field goal, and if you threw it when it was on the like little red slot, then it blew up on contact.
That'd be sick.
That would actually be kind of cool.
That'd be sick.
So there's still skill
They'll never
involved.
do that, but that'd be sick.
Yeah.
All these ideas are interesting, and we're soon to find out. Let's move on to the tactical ability, and I have to assume that maybe Kyle's thing will come true with the tactical, with that golden grenade. Maybe that is his tactical. Maybe he gets on something, a grenade on cooldown that blows up on contact.
If he gets a grenade that blows up on contact as tactical.
Why would they show that grenade?
I'm playing this character.
Why would they show that
100%.
grenade?
It's my new main.
I didn't think it was the grenade. The grenade blew up. We're all forgetting the grenade blew his
shit.
fucking arm off.
Yeah.
What I thought was like the Molotov thing. The girl was fucking drinking whiskey, lighting it on fire, blowing that shit all over people, all kinds of stuff like that. I pictured him carrying around a fucking Molotov. Maybe he just takes less damage. There's another thing, less damage from fire and explosives. That way, thermites and grenades, he takes less damage. It would work with that tactical to be able to like peg the ground or some shit and be able to get away. But I picture a Molotov. That being said, I'm never playing him because I will still kill myself.
You'll kill yourself. I don't want you to play him.
yeah.
Actually, you're banned from playing him.
His
I'm not
If
playing
you're
him.
on my team,
Banned.
you're banned from playing
I
him.
don't think his tactical can be some kind of a grenade because his ult is definitely going to be some kind of a grenade.
Well, his ult it's already been teased. It's that big ass bomb that's been
drops
landing in Kings
final.
Canyon.
yeah,
Or
so
actually
if
every
we-
map.
Yeah.
That
If he
turns
had
into a
if he
thermite.
has a passive that relates to grenades and he has an ult that is a giant grenade, then his tactical has to be something else, man.
Maybe it's that giant gun thing that's on the. It looks like a cannon on his back.
I thought that, honestly, dude, I have a theory that might shoot the fucking ult out of it. Like
What-
a mortar. Think of the old school mortars, like you used to drop a mortar and it launches out.
Oh yeah.
I could see that happening,
So one
and that
thing-
could be scary as fuck, especially if you're able to launch that into a building.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was instead of like, so you know how like Gibraltar like pulls out a grenade and throws his grenade, and then wherever the grenade lands, that's where the explosion hits. I was thinking, what if it's like if you play Valorant? What if it's like a brimstone ult where you like go into like a little screen? You go into like a screen, and it shows you like anywhere on the map that's like near you, and you could just pick a spot, and it just shoots out of the cannon and then comes straight
Like a
down
mortar?
on that
That'd be
spot.
sick.
Like a
We're
big old
literally,
mortar?
it's like a mortar.
It is
Think
a
of it.
mortar.
It's
yeah.
almost
Call
like
it- yeah, it's a-
almost a javelin.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
a
it's
javelin.
What if to make Bangalore relevant, if you had a Bangalore on your team, you could take all the grenades out of your inventory and put it on her and then throw her into a building?
What if his passive is it goes back to the way Apex used to be, where you could stick grenades to your teammates? What if he could just fucking stick grenades to his teammates and he has a little detonation thing ready to go? His teammates
That'd be
runs into
cool.
his building and just launches it.
What if his tactical's like C4? Like you just
That'd
throw
be
it
cool,
out?
too.
No.
You just hate explosives.
No,
You're an
no,
explosive hater.
C4 would be too much. A detonated explosive is too much.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
think
know.
a detonated
No.
explosive is too much.
I don't know, dude.
Thank
What
you.
if he converted your present, when you used it, he converted your present magazine to incendiary rounds?
Oh, that'd be sick.
Drop
would
the
be pretty
mag,
sick.
pop on incendiary rounds, oof, and then it did damage over time if you get hit with it, and then it
Oh.
tracks you.
That would
Oh,
actually make
God.
sense because his mortar that was teased in the game right now, you shot it and then it turned into a big thermite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be sick if he could do that. What if for his ult, he resprouted his third arm that got blown off,
His
and then
third-
he has another gun in that arm, and you're just shooting 3 guns.
I'd like that.
That'd be
Pretty well.
sick.
I'd like that a lot.
You think they'd consider that? Maybe
No,
I could pitch it.
never in
to
a
him.
million
No.
years.
No,
I could try.
I mean, go ahead and try. I'd love to see that. If you get a reply from one of the devs on that, I will crack my ass up.
I'll tweet it to him right now.
Do
you
it.
think I won't?
I don't think you will.
I don't think you will. Tweet it.
Okay. Who should I tweet it to?
Do it to Jason McCord, Josh Medina.
So, do you guys want to hear what I heard from SWO? When the character was originally made back in the old days, the passive was he was invulnerable to fire.
That would make sense. He could walk through his ult then.
So yeah, so
And
he was
thermites.
invulnerable to fire, and it was his passive was when he walked through fire, it instantly put it out.
So your team could follow.
So your team could follow through. So that would make sense if his ability was a molly and his ult is a molly,
Ooh.
and if like thermites, if he could put out thermites, then that means that thermites can become significantly less good, and they might become bottom tier grenades again if he's a top tier, character.
If he ends up being incredibly relevant. But that's very interesting because that allows you to essentially Molotov the ground for escape, for cover, things like that. And if we think he's a high damage output, he's going to need that cover ability to be able to escape. His ultimate becomes so relevant, especially if the option for being able to go through buildings is a thing.
Yes.
So you can walk through and you can clear that path for your teammates to go through.
Okay, here's the tweet. Yo, Josh, we were all brainstorming. What if Fuse's ult was he reattached his lost arm to have 3 arms and was able to hold a gun with it for a kimbo fire for like 30 seconds or so? So, thoughts? Question mark.
I like that.
Do it.
I like that.
It's
Okay.
already sent.
It's already
I sent it before I read it to you guys. All right, let's move on to the 30-30 lever action rifle because they also teased the brand new gun. And holy fuck, we talked about this rifle so long ago. Actually, it was one of our early TikToks before we had started like getting big views on it. We talked about this 30-30 lever action rifle. Shrugtool talked about it a long time ago. I think before Season 6 even dropped.
Yes.
Like, that was in the files. And so now it's finally here. And this is one of those guns, Troy. A few episodes we were talking about which gun should come next. We don't know what ammo type it is, but me and you had talked about a Maverick gun. A gun where it's like high skill cap players can take advantage of it. People who aren't good, they don't have to use it. But those guys who are decent and good, they can make this weapon really good. And now it's here, and I'm excited.
Me too, man. God, they could do so much with it. I really hope that it has a sufficient amount of damage to be something that is relevant. You know, it's not just a novelty weapon. I hope they make it really strong, and I hope it's tough to use. I hope it's something that, like, when you pick it up, it feels like a risk. And I also hope that the animation for hip firing it is just so fucking badass. Just,
Yeah.
you know, just railing that fucking lever and you know, slam firing it from the hip and being able to see that, like, have that animation be good enough that you can see it from a distance. That's just one of the coolest things in Western movies, is just seeing people fucking slam fire those lever action rifles.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that's going to be sick. What do you guys think?
I think it's got to be heavy ammo. I don't think there's any other way they can go about it. I think
30-30 bullets aren't, in real life, 30-30 bullets are not very big.
So would it be like a light ammo
It
gun?
would be
you
light
think?
ammo, yeah.
Maybe then. I think it would be sick if it had a mechanic to where, like, when you aim down sights, it did more damage, kind of like Ash's gun from Overwatch, where, like, when you aim down sights, it did more damage, but when you hip fired it, you could shoot it faster, but it did significantly less damage, and it had way more recoil. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I think that there should be like a right click. So when you think back to another character in Overwatch, McCree, he had the fan the hammer with his revolver. If there was some sort of mechanic where you could do what Troy was saying, like in the old cowboy movies, and maybe you can't aim down sights, but you can shoot it way faster on hip fire, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
And I would love to see that, especially because Apex is so hip fire friendly already. That'd be really cool, and it would be the perfect side weapon.
Yeah.
Perfect side
and
weapon.
that, I mean, you know, that's the actual mechanic of the gun. You can't slam fire it effectively from the shoulder.
No.
So that,
So-
I mean, it would make a ton of sense.
I have a couple things that I want to point out with this. One, I love the idea of this gun. I've wanted this gun. I'm excited for this gun. I love it. Two is, I think they already have a hop-up in the game. We've been wondering why it's in the game because it does absolutely nothing, but it makes perfect sense on this weapon, and that is the quick draw.
You think?
That quick draw, faster aim down sight, more accurate when hip firing.
Hip firing. Mm-hmm.
It just makes more sense on this weapon than
That'd
it
be
does on the Wingman, where it's already got the skull piercer, and the RE45. I mean, the RE45 kind of makes sense. Also, this being a light gun, if that's what we're assuming it's going to be based on the 30-30 part, I'm assuming it's a G7 slower fire rate with a higher damage output. Not damage output, but higher burst damage.
Yeah.
That's what would make sense to me. G7 semi-auto, that just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see a hop up of this where it's just a like double tap, where you're able to fire off like put double tap on this gun and you're able to fire off in rapid succession, or rapid fire would be a better statement. I think that'd be really fun in this gun. Same reason you said, it's just lever action is such a cool gun. If you're good at it, it's amazing.
And last but not least, we've got Kings Canyon once again getting updated. I believe, I'm paraphrasing, the similar words were Fuse's entrance into the Apex games has reshaped Kings Canyon. Guys, can we stop blowing up the maps? Can we not can the maps ever just get rebuilt? Why has that never happened?
The only thing I want is if they blow something up, can you just blow up bunker so I can get rid of all the caustic mains that just run in there and hide in there all game?
Yeah, I mean honestly, man, like this it's so frustrating. It's like I understand you guys want to make adjustments to the maps and stuff. If anything, the only map that needs a real adjustment is World's Edge, Cap City. They need to rebuild that shit. It is so frustrating. And like they're talking about, remember when they broke it, it was to stop third parties. It didn't. I mean, it just didn't. They're still there. That's actually the hottest area in the map. Just rebuild the city again. Just bring it back up. Bring it back up. Like just please. I'm tired of maps getting destroyed for no reason. Kings Canyon shouldn't have gotten all this crazy shit. Skulltown should still be there. Like no matter what, it should still be there. Fuck.
One of my favorite things when I first started playing this game was I felt like I was almost playing a Far Cry, but at a faster pace and in competitive lobbies.
Yeah.
Like, that was an awesome feeling, being able to run around and shoot people in the wilderness. Like, that was awesome. And you take that away in Kings Canyon. Like, you took that feeling away.
Yeah, there is no... I was actually talking to some Grab My Banner listeners, and they were saying the exact same thing that you just said, Brian. It's like, when you're on Kings Canyon, it doesn't feel like it because it's become almost like metropolitan, even though it's not metropolitan at all. Like, back in the day, you had bridges, which had all the trees, and you had the bridge with the waterfall underneath, and then you had, like, that natural environment. And that natural, I miss that so much. Just thinking about it, I miss it. And then you added in Sing Labs, and Sing Labs was fine. But then you added in the area behind Sing Labs where it like connects, and it's just like, dude, it doesn't feel like you're in the wilderness, like Brian said anymore.
It's not like the wild. Like it doesn't feel like you're in the wild anymore. It just feels like you're like in this technologically built new area.
And remember the burnt forest. That burnt forest was awesome too. Remember in Kings Canyon where the burnt forest was?
Yeah.
Really cool.
I don't have an issue with some of these areas being reworked. I know that over time development and it's going to happen, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But you have World's Edge, which has major cities, right? And I think that's plenty. You have a map that's very industrialized, and then you have Horizon, or not? I keep calling it Horizon, but Olympus. You have Olympus that is very like industrialized and advanced, and now you're taking Kings Canyon, which was the only map that was so far away from that spectrum that it was almost refreshing to visualize. That
it was wilderness.
Exactly. It was like going camping. When you just get out of the city, you're like, oh, this is actually kind of nice once you're up here and like you're enjoying the nature and everything. Kings Canyon was that version of that in this game, and they took that away. There's actually like, what is it? People are saying, is it the new legend rule that every time a legend comes into the game, we have to blow up a map?
Yeah, it's
like
why?
That's a thing. Every time someone comes in, the map gets blown up, or we get something entirely like, except for I think Horizon, we got a whole new map. And who did we get when we went to World's Edge?
We got Crypto.
We got Crypto.
Yeah,
but he
still fucks up.
He still fucked up the last map.
Think about it this way, Brian. You brought up a really interesting point. You have World's Edge, which we would consider industrialized because they have like all the stuff there. We have Olympus, which would be considered what do you call it? What suburban? Because it's like neighborhoods, right?
Yeah,
that's more. It's not industrialized; it's more suburban. There's like houses and apartments and stuff. And then Kings Canyon is the wilderness, and you have all those three. And if they were all in their original form, they would all coincide perfectly, and it would be badass. Think about it this way. When was the last time you actually paid attention and remember the river running through Kings Canyon? When Bridges was around, when Skulltown was around, like that was a major part of the map. And it was interesting. You would go from a desert-ish area, all of a sudden you're in a green open field. And lighting is also another issue. Hopefully they don't make it dark and depressing like they have with World's Edge and Kings Canyon. Once again, it's like the lighting changes. World's Edge, when you're there, it feels like morning, happiness, good. That's all right. Kings Canyon is a little better. It's late afternoon.
I think you're talking about Olympus. Olympus feels warm,
yeah.
happiness.
Warm, happy.
You love Olympus. It's bright, sunny days.
Kings Canyon is like late afternoon, like late lunchtime, maybe early dinner, and then World's Edge is just like dark and you just want to die. Like it just sucks. You know, like I wish they would stop doing this.
I don't like the apocalyptic type lighting that they put in these games where it's all like everything's blown up, everything's behind the clouds and all that.
All right, guys. Well, that'll just about wrap it up for the main section of this episode. We've got all the information out there about Season 8 that we know up to this point. There's rumors that new videos and stuff will be dropping very soon as Thursday, so keep your eye on that. Let's hit a quick ad, and we will hit to the gambling section of the show. All right. Here we are. It is the gambling section of the show, and I've never been more excited, Troy,
We have arrived.
I've never been more excited to do this segment. Typically, this is a segment that I dread, and I get scared because Bryan decides he's going to go take a bathroom break real quick. That's okay. Me and you can talk.
Yeah.
We can talk.
It's
we can talk about things.
It's
so
fine.
Last week,
He's
I
got
was
to get
hearing
something out of his throat. 'Cause he's been choking a lot.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot, just so much. We had a lot of slander on us last week.
We did.
I mean, people were saying you were a bum. They were saying you were garbage, that I was going to carry you. I mean, even talks of you being a backpack. And, I mean, that had to have hurt. And you really showed it when you came out in this tournament this week. Did pretty well. In fact, we did better than the other two people at this table who said that they were going to shit on us.
Yeah, I mean, what else is incredible is that everybody did better than the other two people at this table. Mm-hmm. We came into a space where the two of them were really confidently saying that I was the one holding them back in the previous two tournaments, and here they are with each other, and it's the worst performance I think we've ever seen in a gambling tournament.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
The only worst performance I remember was, I believe, you and Bryan got 78 points. It seems like things keep going back to Bryan over there.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like we're getting a lot of bad scores from the man who's sitting at the front of this table here. He's just back from his bathroom break. You guys can chime in, by the way, whenever you want.
I just want to throw this out there. Kyle and I have played before, and we scored 128 points on that, which
is
actually
what we scored.
Tied you guys. Mm-hmm. So I would say that, no, it's not like we're horrible playing together. We had a horrible session. Mm-hmm. We'll both agree to that. It was very bad. Mm-hmm. We did not get it together till the last maybe 4 games, and we put up a 29-point and a 32-point game, a second and first place, respectively. I think that until then, we didn't really pull our heads out of our asses. We weren't playing like we normally play in relation to each other, and we are excited to get back and go full swing. Just dive into it next tournament and just dominate.
Okay, so you guys are confirming that you guys will be teammates on the next duos tournament.
Yes.
Suicide.
Okay.
I think that...
Is that what you want to commit when you hear that?
No. I mean a little bit because you're so far from reality, but I think it's just so easy to say, we had a bad game, we had a bad session, but I think that, the statistics and the trends bear out that the two of you are more or less in decline just as players in general. I think you guys peaked a couple of seasons ago, and you've been in rapid decline. And now what we're seeing is, the culmination of that decline. And I don't think that there's really any saving the two of you. I don't think there is any coming back. I don't think it was a bad game. I don't think it wasn't representative of how you guys play with each other. I think this is just a new normal, and we better get used to it.
Let's go through the big leaderboard here. We got the big leaderboard. So after this week, our number one gambler is Troy with 348 bones in his pocket. Second place is Kyle with 248. He's 100 behind. I'm sitting at 133, and Bryan is at 117. So that's what we've got to work with here, boys.
Not a lot, Bryan. Not a lot.
What, you're talking?
Oh,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
Oh,
I'm just focused because what I'm able to visualize, I've been working a lot on my visualization techniques.
Kyle, did you
I'm
hear that?
able to visualize the tears that are in your
not
eyes.
Mad. He's just focused.
Yep, very focused.
Oh,
did that focus get you your max of 628 damage this week?
It got me and Wyatt collectively 128 points.
yeah.
But how
what
about
got
that
us.
600 damage?
Listen, I'm a very selfless player when I'm on a team, but it's not about a team when I'm in a head-to-head. So
Damn.
I'm not worried about it.
Damn.
Listen, when we play duos, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I don't give a fuck about my teammate.
Yeah, well,
no one's
most of the
surprised to
time-
hear that, Kyle.
I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
no, I
Not
don't
a
think-
single
I don't
person
think
here or
anybody-
anywhere else.
Kyle,
is
nobody's
surprised.
surprised about dude. Like,
Yeah.
That was decided back in season
This is
one.
the guy who had to wear his number one teammate shirt, and he clearly just anytime you have to wear a shirt that says that, you're not.
Definitely the number one teammate.
So
No.
let's go through these lines first.
Let
so
me
we
go
can get
through
our
the
bets
lines real
out,
quick.
Yeah.
and then we can get to that head.
gotta
Here's
men-
what we'll
because you
do.
gotta
I know-
mentally prepare.
Here's what we'll do. I'll go through the lines. Me and Kyle will go through our cards because we're not in this head-to-head, and then we'll let you two hash it out. Let's do that.
Okay, you go first because I have a feeling after you hear these terms of like what the bet is, you guys are probably going to want to bet on me.
Oh, I have some extra bones.
He might have some. Kyle might have some extra bones. I don't
Okay.
have enough for extra.
No, you don't have shit.
I really don't have shit. I'm above you, Brian, but I don't have shit.
That's only because your duos play.
that just means I'm
you
good.
Mean, you mean our duos playing?
No, I saw those kill games. He was carrying 50%.
Troy
of the
did.
time.
We had a first place 9 kill, and Troy had 4 of those.
What about your other 3 games?
So,
I remember
you carried him.
I remember a 1 kill for Troy to I think it was your 9
I had
kills.
almost 700 damage that game.
Okay, so you were
So
3
wait,
more
hold, you're
kills.
telling me you didn't break 1,000?
Rolly backpack.
Rolly
Yeah,
backpack.
you're-
Still backpack.
I don't
rolling
care.
backpack.
Listen,
Still a backpack.
it doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant.
Hey,
I did
real
what
fast.
had to be done to make sure that we succeeded, and now I have to do what I need to do to make sure that I succeed in my head-to-head.
Can-
I know that when you went in the bathroom, you patted your underwear with some toilet paper because you're leaking a little bit, okay? And I would be too. I would be too if I was in your position because I know you don't do well under pressure, and I know that you know that I'm a threat.
How'd your spite bet on Wyatt's max go of an 85 bones as your gift of the Allfather bet?
I'm
Under.
very proud of my teammate.
He's proud of me. That takes a
How-
lot of passion right there because he lost 85 bones on a bet that probably should have won because it's won a million times in the past. But he cares more about my happiness.
How about your bets on yourself? The 2 overs you took for a total of 65 bones.
I'm
on
proud that
on
our
your average
team-
and max.
I'm proud that I put my team first ahead of
So
my
you're
lines.
you're proud that you put your team first ahead of your max, which you're like, I did so shitty on my max. I'm gonna bet on it that I'm gonna outscore the other players that have been playing
Brian, when you
so
find
much
yourself
longer.
when you find yourself a part of a successful
Troy,
team,
you
you'll
ha-
understand how I feel.
You haven't you're a single fucking line this entire gambling segment.
It's not about me. It's
not
about
a-
it's
it's-
about
he's right.
what I contribute to
Time out,
as
time
a
out,
teammate.
time out. How is it not about you if you're about to take a head-to-head against Bryan?
Now this
It's
is what I'm
clearly
talking
about you.
about. This
Listen.
is literally what I'm trying to say is that I'm setting the stage for things to be different where for once it is about me. And I'm ready for it to be about me.
I don't
because
think-
there's no shame in this world like losing a head-to-head to Bryan. Okay? There's not. There's no shame like that. And I know that me and Bab have lost a duos tournament to you and Kyle, but that's different. The blame is distributed across both Kyle and me and Wyatt and you. But in a head-to-head with you and me, where it's something as explicit as the best game that either of us had, there's no running from that. If you lose, you lost to me. And if I lose, I lost to you.
I can't wait for the text at the end of the week that says,
Oh no, this is happening in person. I'm gonna do my best to make this happen in person.
we'll
dude.
definitely honestly
I will
like,
do the best that I can. Like either in person or as close to in person as possible. Like these guys are on the phone the whole. I will go the whole 9 yards for this. Let's get to the lines real quick, and then me and Kyle will say our cards. And then if we decide, hey, let's bet some on this head-to-head, then we can go ahead and we can bet some on this head-to-head. Head-to-head. Yes.
Don't you fucking let me down.
Let me read the lines.
Bab, look at me.
Let
Don't you fucking let me down. Dude. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you want. I want you to support me in this. All right.
Okay.
Don't you fucking do this to me. You look at him and then you look at me and then you think about the implications of your actions. Okay?
Let me read the lines. Troy.
Don't do this. Don't do this to the dynamic of this table.
the lines.
Don't do this to my heart. Don't do this to my spirit.
I gotta read the
I'm making
lines.
this head-to-head knowing that you're standing behind me.
These lines, they gotta get read. This is awkward. Troy's total kills are 10, total with 5 at half and 3 each quarter, an average damage of 350, and a max of 800. Kyle's lines sitting at 24 total kills with halves at 12 and quarters at 6 with the average damage at 500 and the max of 1850. My lines total kills are 21 with halves at 11 and quarters at 6 with the average of 550 and the max at 1700. I've hit my max 2 weeks in a row. Thank you very much. And Bryan's lines total kills at 16 with halves at 8 and quarters at 4, average damage at 500 and max damage at 1400.
Can we just acknowledge Troy's lines for a minute?
You want me to say them again?
Goodness.
Please, can you refresh me on those? I can't see what they are.
Troy's lines total kills at 10, halves at 5, quarters at 3, average damage of 350, and max at 800.
How many games do we play?
We play 12.
12. What did he get last week?
It wasn't good,
Can we? What were?
but it
I'm
was
curious-
enough
I'm curious
to
for
get
my bets.
128 points.
But I'm curious for my bets what he got last week.
Well, he got 8 total kills with an average damage of 201 and a max of 648.
Oh.
Wow. Max of 648. Wow.
An average of 201.
This head-to-head's looking pretty good, honestly. I mean, who would bet, though?
Listen, here's the thing. Here's what you got to understand. And I seriously want you guys to think about this for a minute. Wrap your head around what I'm telling you, because what I'm telling you is grounded in facts.
You can't even complete the statement. You can't even complete it. You're laughing at yourself because you know it's so
I'm not
fake.
even talking about myself. Okay, think about this. I'm going to make a hypothetical situation.
So we're talking
All
about fake shit now.
No, we're not talking about. It's just because it's hypothetical. It's still grounded in reality. Take a group of swimmers.
reality are you in?
Group of swimmers, okay, that are professional. If you have a group of swimmers that are professional, then a variation in maybe a half of a second might be a really big deal, right? Because they train and train and train, and a half second here or there, because they're already almost at their limit, is a really big deal. But then you take a bunch of people that don't train swimming and you let them go swim. Some days they're going to have maybe, a 3 second. They're going to be 3 seconds faster. Some days they're going to be 3 seconds slower. There's more variation because they haven't even gotten close to their potential. Not this week, but the week before, I got 1,100 damage. This week I got 600. It shows that variation it's indicative of the fact that I'm not even close to my potential, and I'm getting closer and closer to it every week, even if it doesn't show in the score. If we had done all 20 games we'd played, I would have had one that was much closer to 1,000. And if we had taken all the games that I've played, I've already broken 1,800. So it's not that I don't have the potential, it's I don't have the consistency. But if you put me in a circumstance where I need to rise to the occasion, I've already proven that I'm that guy. So Bab, I swear to fucking God, if you don't bet on me,
I gotta read my bets
hold on.
real quick.
So what you're saying through all that, to put shortly, even a blind squirrel finds his nut once.
no.
Yeah,
That's pretty much what you're saying. That's pretty much what you're saying. You're saying through the laws of averages, you're eventually going to hit an outlier.
That metaphor implies accident. It's not an accident. It's me reaching my actual potential. You mean an outlier? You don't get 1,500 or 1,800 damage by accident. You don't. Unless you're playing bots.
That's an outlier.
It might be an outlier game, yes, but that still is not indicative of an accident. That's not the same.
Yeah, but if you're trying to make a big bet on an outlier, that's not. That's just not a smart bet, Troy.
Okay, well, I hope you take it. Why don't you put all your fucking bones on it, but 2 then? I'm sick of all this talk. You're talking all this smack. Why don't you read me Troy's lines again? Dude, you're full of a bunch of dog shit, okay? Put all your fucking bones on the bet, or don't bet at all. And be a coward.
They're just staring daggers at each other.
So I didn't bet on Wyatt this week because I can't trust him.
I can't fucking trust you, you piece of shit. Get to your bets.
I can't trust his ass at all, so I didn't put any bones on him. But there's one thing that I can trust, and that's that Troy will not hit his total kills. So I got.
I'm sorry, Troy. I'm not trying to laugh.
I got 50 bones under on Troy's total kills. And that will actually be my gift of the All-Father bet.
Keep going.
And then I have
Yeah,
50
Keep
bones
laughing.
over on
Everything
my total
changes.
kills.
This is the week.
Which I will
Everything
definitely
changes
hit.
this week. I'm done with this.
And then
I'm done with this.
I have 48 bones on Brian's total average damage because, Brian always hits that average damage. So that's what I got. Those are my 3 bets.
Okay. All right, I'll read my card. I have 4 bets all on Bryan this week, and it's not because I don't want to bet on anybody else. It's because Kyle cannot be fucking trusted.
What do
the
you
last
mean?
2 seasons that I've put money on this fucking guy, he loses it all for me, all of it, with some bullshit performance that I'm staring at going, what the hell happened here? Because he consistently plays well all the time except for when I bet on him. So, Kyle, you're done. You're out. It's over. You're fired. It's over. You're making me bet all of my bets on Bryan. You
That's
understand
terrible.
that? This is terrible. But I do trust Bryan this week. I just said that out loud, and I wasn't thinking about this. The last time we saw Bryan in this high-pressure situation, it didn't go well.
There's a difference between having to hit my own max and just having to beat Troy's.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, you talked me right back into it.
Listen,
Okay.
I only have to hit, clearly, as of last week, all I have to hit is 700 damage, and I beat his max.
Okay, all right.
Quiet.
Well,
I've already hit 1,800 in this game.
Yeah,
All I
but
need
that's
is
not
one
with the
game.
pressure.
I don't need to be consistent. I don't need to be good. I
You're
need
not
to
Kyle.
hit one game.
You're not Kyle.
You got to hit one game in 12.
It's not a big deal.
that does not make me
You
feel
want me to take you under my wing? What's going on here?
I don't
might-
need anyone to take me under jack shit. I'm just telling you, my focus will not be any sharper at any point in my life than beating Bryan in a head-to-head.
Okay. All right. I might put more bones down, but as for right now, I've got 4 bets on Bryan. It's a total of 35 bones. I have 133. My first bet on Bryan is his total kills over at 10 bones. Second is his first half kills over at 10 bones. My third is the average damage over at 10 bones. And then I put 5 on his max damage over at 5 bones. That was before this whole thing took place. So I just put 5 on it. I didn't have that before. And then this whole thing went down. And now it looks like I'm betraying Troy. But really, I just wrote this down before you guys were going to get into this whole thing. So
You could have changed it.
I didn't even.
You could have changed it.
Or you
It wouldn't have taken anything. To
I
just
still
cross
there's
it
still
out.
I still
You
have
could've just
100.
crossed it out.
I still have
You
98
could've just
bones to
crossed
bet.
it. You could have just crossed
Why
it out.
backing out on your bets is never a good idea.
Yeah,
You
it,
could've
it
just
never.
You always
Crossed
go
it
with
out,
what
too.
you.
You always
what
gotta
you
go with
initially
your
plan.
You
gut.
know what? I don't
Don't let
care.
your
I hope
emotions
you
get
all
into
bet
it.
against me and I just fuck you all at one time.
Okay,
Whatever. dude.
Bryan, Troy, let's discuss.
Listen,
First of all, I
Brian
think
has
both of you have to play
117
solo.
bones. Bryan has 117 bones. We'll both play solo. I 100% agree. If I say Bryan puts 115 bones on me, and
I'm
I'll
gonna
put
choose
115 bones right back at it.
Okay, so Troy, as soon as you said the head-to-head and that I only had to beat your max, which is what my average damage games are,
Really? Really? What's your average damage?
normally with last season we
Oh
had
my
set
god!
at
Yeah,
like
normally
600.
last season. Yeah, back when I was playing in Powder Puff, dude, fuck off. There's your average damage is not anywhere near
600?
my max. No, it's not near 600, and it's not near 1100,
What was your
and
max
it's not
last?
near
what-
1800.
What was your max last week?
I don't know, 650, 680, something like that.
Okay, just checking.
What about it?
I've had my
pretty
average
close.
lines there.
Yeah, dude.
So that being said, yeah, I'm definitely going to take that bet. So I got 1 bone on Wyatt's total
Perfect.
kills. I've got 1 bone on. I don't want to bet on you now for some odd reason, but you know what? I think you'll still end up hitting your max through this. Your max is only 800, so I think you'll still end up hitting it. So I'll say 1 bone on you, Troy, for your average damage or for your max damage.
No.
And I will obviously do 170. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. 115 bones on me having a higher max damage than Troy. So I get and I'm gonna. By the way, that's gonna be my gift of the Allfather for the week.
Same.
115 bones times 3. I'm gonna be walking out of here with at least 345 bones. And Troy, you're going to be losing 115. Yeah, you lose on the season because of that.
All right. Well, I have 115 on the head-to-head, and then I have 1 bone over on my third quarter kills and 1 bone over on my fourth quarter kills.
Kyle, White, are you guys getting in on this at all? Or
I actually would love to bet on the side of Bryan for 50 bones.
50
No.
on me.
Now, here's what I'm going to do. Okay? Because I'm in a tough spot here. Listen, I've already been dead last in gambling. I was dead last season. I'm second to... Why would you throw that at me? I haven't finished my statement
I know where you're going with this. I can't believe you.
I haven't even
can't
finished.
believe you.
I haven't even finished.
I can't believe you.
Listen, I've bet 100. I have 133 bones. I have 98 left after all my bets. I will put all 98 on Troy to win this tournament. Or to
Wow.
win this bet. Now, like I said, I've been last before. I know how it feels to be last. I won't feel any shame. Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're accepting that you're going to be in last place?
what he's saying.
I'm not accepting it. I'm coming to terms that it is a possibility.
It's a possibility.
It's
And
a
I'm not
huge
going to say it's
possibility.
not a possibility, but what I am going to say is that more than ever before, I haven't spent more than 15 minutes in the training room. I haven't spent more than probably 2 hours outside of the games that I had to play playing Apex. But this week, I'm going to put at least 10 hours of training into Apex. And I will be the best version of myself coming into my games.
So that'll just about wrap it up for the gambling segment of the show. Bryan, Troy, head-to-head. Whoever gets the highest damage wins.
Bring it on.
They're both playing solo. Things are about to get crazy.
I won the last one. It's time to win the second one.
All right, and that'll just about wrap it up for the show. Thank you guys for listening to episode 21. We will be back next week talking probably more about Season 8, all the new stuff coming out. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to head on down to Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. We also are going to be having our Grab My Banner Boxing Championship number 6 this week, but it's going to be a few days early. It's going to be on Friday this week. Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But you can hear more about that on the Grab My Banner Boxing Championship podcast, which will have a new episode at the same time that this one comes out. So go ahead and check that out. We will catch you guys next week. Thank you for listening. See you later.